If there was one thing I could tell you to boost your confidence immediately going into a stressful situation, I would say, welcome to Growth Mindset Mastery, where we transform challenges into opportunities. I'm JT, and today we'll be talking about how to use fight or flight to your advantage. Once we understand how fight or flight works, we can beat it. Then we can own it. Let's start out with a discussion of what is fight or flight. This response is your body's ancient survival mechanism, designed for quick reactions to stay alive. When your brain perceives a threat, it triggers a cascade of hormones, primarily adrenaline and cortisol, that prepare your body for immediate action. Your heart rate increases, pumping more blood to your muscles. Your breathing quickens to take in more oxygen. Your pupils dilate to enhance your vision. Your digestive system slows down because, let's face it, digesting that sandwich isn't a priority when you think you're in danger. The whole system is designed to keep us safe, but here's the problem. Our bodies can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and a stressful presentation at work. Same response, completely different scenarios. There are four main responses with fight or flight, including fight, flight, freezing, and fawning. These responses can all be useful in different circumstances. Fighting might be appropriate when standing up for yourself in a negotiation. Flight could save you from a dangerous situation. Freezing could be useful if I'm about to go at a light that just turned green and a maniac comes barreling through the intersection right as I was about to go. If I freeze in that moment, it just might save my life because I didn't get T-boned. Fawning is less talked about. It's when we try to please or appease to avoid conflict, and it can be useful in certain social situations where harmony is crucial. But let's be honest, a lot of times we have these responses at inappropriate times. I could freeze when I need to do CPR and delay a life-sustaining response. I could flee from a party because I got nervous and miss out on an opportunity to meet some pretty awesome people. So how can we control our stress response? To answer that, we need to understand the science behind our emotions. Let's start out with some history. Throughout the years, psychologists have proposed different theories about how we experience emotions, and understanding these gives us insight into how we can manage them. The first major theory was the James Lange theory from the late 1800s. This flipped our common understanding on its head by suggesting that physical responses come first and emotions come second. Essentially, we don't run because we're scared because we're running. According to this theory, your brain observes your heart racing and thinks, my heart is racing, I must be afraid. Then, in the 1920s, the Cannon-Bard theory came along and said, no, that's not right. This theory proposed that emotional responses and physical reactions occur simultaneously. You see the threat, your brain processes it, and at the same time sends signals to feel fear and to prepare your body for action. Finally, in the 1960s, Schachter and Singer brought cognition into the mix with their two-factor theory. They said, your physical arousal happens, but then your brain interprets that arousal based on the situation you're in. So if your heart rate is racing at a haunted house, you'll feel fear. But if your heart is racing on a first date, you might interpret it as attraction or excitement. What modern science tells us is that all these theories capture parts of the truth. Emotions are incredibly complex interactions between our bodies, our thoughts, our past experiences, and even our cultural backgrounds. Since we know that emotions are at least partially determined by how we perceive our physiological response, how we look at ourselves in the moment is key. Also, if we can control our bodies better, we can control our emotions as well. You might say, how can I control my body? But the reality is, there's a lot we can control. I could choose not to drink coffee on a day when I know I have an interview, anticipating that my rise in heart rate might be interpreted by my amygdala as extra nervousness. If there was one thing I could tell you to boost your confidence immediately going into a stressful situation, I would say take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Let me show you how. See how relaxed you feel? Make sure you exhale as long as you inhale. Most people that don't do that don't feel relaxed if they miss that step. Once you've done that, slow down your movements and your speech. When you physically slow down, you're sending a powerful signal to your brain that there's no emergency. Our bodies and minds are in constant communication, and sometimes the fastest way to calm your mind is through your body. Think of the large prey animals. If you're in a situation where you need to command respect, be like the lion. Lower your voice. You don't want to be the high-pitched meerkat making rapid movements. Now, let's talk about practical strategies you can use before, during, and after stressful situations. Before stress hits, prepare. If you know you have a stressful event coming up, practice visualization. See yourself handling the situation calmly and competently. Research shows that your brain responds to imagined scenarios almost the same way it responds to real ones. So this is like a rehearsal for your nervous system. Also, build your stress resilience through regular exercise, sufficient sleep, and good nutrition. When your body is well maintained, it's less likely to overreact to stressors. During stress, first recognize what's happening. Say to yourself, this is my fight or flight response activating. It's normal, and I can manage it. Remember that your thoughts affect your emotions. Challenge catastrophic thinking with realistic assessments. Is this really a threat to my survival? What's the worst that could realistically happen? Reflect on how you handled the situation. What worked? What didn't? This builds your emotional intelligence over time. Understanding and mastering your fight or flight response isn't about never feeling nervous again. It's about working with your body rather than against it. When you feel that familiar rush of adrenaline before your next presentation or difficult conversation, remember, this response is to help you perform at your peak. Your racing heart is sending more oxygen to your brain. Your heightened awareness can help you notice and connect with your audience. The difference between anxiety and excitement is often just how we label it. Both involve the same physiological arousal, but one feels awful and the other feels energizing. So the next time your fight or flight kicks in, try saying to yourself, I'm not nervous, I'm energized, I'm ready, and I've got this. This is JT with Growth Mindset Mastery, reminding you that what seems like your greatest weakness can become your greatest strength. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep mastering your mindset. If you like this content, please remember to like and subscribe for more amazing videos from me. Thank you.